Good morning, everybody at the Indiana Hoosiers. This is Hoosier Faithful talking on the podcast today. I've got my son with me, Chase, and I actually have the man, the myth, the legend, Harold Simpson. You may know him by It's a Business. I had to throw that in there. Okay, so we're going to get started now. What we're going to talk about today is a couple things. We're going to talk about the IU football against Purdue, the statistics of the game. We're going to talk about Ohio State University and the game that's coming up. We'll be doing a more in-depth look at that on Thursday, of course. And our offense and defense against Ohio State. Coaching carousel. Should we be worried about one of our coordinators leaving to take the head coaching job at JMU? That is going to be a worry for us. I think it's a worry for us because if they want to become a head coach, that's more money and a good program. We're also going to be talking a bit about the college football bracket. What happens to Ohio State, Indiana, whoever loses the game? What happens with that? So let's get into it now. Go ahead, Chase.
So today we're talking about, right now we're talking about the stats from Indiana versus Purdue. Let me tell you what, guys, it was unbelievable on our running game. That led us to have total offense of 548 total offense. Passing is at 193 and rushing is at 355.
Wow, yeah. Passing game didn't really get going against Purdue. I don't know if it was a cold. I think it might have to do with the offensive line. We were down 2 starters in the offensive line, or did we just see a weakness in the run defense?
If you listen to our favorite Fernando Mendoza, he said he's never played in that cold of weather before.
Coming from California, that's probably true. You know, he's never had a game like that cold. That the below 20.
He actually is from Miami,
yeah,
Florida, then went to Cal, which both warm
weather schools,
good old Indiana and West Lafayette, where the wind blows and it gets cold and snowy really quick.
That's a different game. Hopefully that's not the case though, because when you're looking for the draft and the scouts looking at him, it's just like, wow, what are they going to look at with that? It kind of worries me there, but he should stay another year and learn for another year. Just stick around for one more year and keep the momentum going. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I mean, this is prime time for him to be a top 5 draft pick. So that's going to be hard to do. Going to be hard to do to keep him around. But with NIL money now, just signing a contract with Adidas as a legendary, so he's selling his product all over the world. So that's going to help him a little bit. It's a whole lot. I mean, 4 plus million probably, plus whatever he makes up NIL.
Let's truly think. If you sign a deal like that, why would he leave?
Yeah,
let's be logical about that. Why would he?
Why would he go? I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't go.
No.
I mean, you're going to be making as much as you are in the rookie contract as you are in the college football contract, and the NFL will be there next year. And also, something that people don't know about Fernando Mendoza is that he is very, very intelligent.
Very.
So he doesn't even have to play football when he comes out of college. Hell, he could probably end up being a sports broadcaster making pretty good money. How good he is at talking. Jeez.
Yeah.
He's a very well-rounded person. Of course, in the business sector, that's what he's going to graduate with. So that's going to be something he has to think about. But I think he wants to play pro football. I think he will play pro football. I just hope it's not next year, it's the year after. I would wait a year and try to get the team that has a better offensive line, could sit back there and learn from a veteran and learn how to be the guy. But let's get back to what we're talking about. Indiana Purdue. That game was we did very well on defense in that game.
Yeah, we ended up having 10 total tackle for loss.
Yeah, the guy that you had mentioned,
Yeah,
leads the nation in tackle for losses.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
like I said, watching this amount of film that I've watched, I knew instantly that our defense was going to overwhelm the Purdue offense. With Daly being as big as he is and a freak of nature, like Coach likes to call him.
Yeah. Talk about a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Freak of nature, Kalon Black.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see that play when he was dancing dynamite on there? Just turning around, swirling around, going into the end zone. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? I used to you being a bruiser, now a dancer. Yeah. God, wow. So, yeah, I mean, when I was looking at the third down efficiencies, we were 4 for 8. Purdue was 7 for 19. Completion passes 10 for 17 and 25 for 47 for Purdue. Rushing attempts, we had 37 rushing attempts for 9.6 yards. Wow. That 9.6 yards a carry. The little things that you don't see. You know what I mean? They lost a fumble and interception thrown. Now, usually I have a count on how many points we scored off turnovers. The last I looked, it was 91 points we scored off turnovers this year. 91. So I don't know what we did. So don't know what we did with that. Our time of possession was 26-52, and Purdue had a higher time of possession of 33.08, but they were on the field more than we were. Yeah. What a day for IU. The team stats, like I was talking about, just was amazing for us. Defensively, we played really well too. So
Yeah, we had a lot of good schemes that Purdue didn't know how to defend against. They're doing that misdirection look again, trying to do those wide receiver, screens and stuff like that against us, which didn't work. Daly being in the black field, Aiden ended up closing down that wide receiver, and it was good. Kalon Black in the red zone, making it happen.
Twice.
That spin that he did was an NFL caliber, look. I thought for sure he was about to crack that kid and run him over and tell him who's boss, but he made him look silly overall.
Made him look silly, yeah. But I was really surprised too. I'm going to give a shout out to Alberto Mendoza. 2 for 2 for 76 yards, averaged 38.0 yards, and 1 TD. Of course, that helps a lot. QBR rating of 100. His older brother had a 69.2 QBR rating. So, as far as rush passing went, was 8-15 for 117, 2 TDs for Fernando, 69.2 QBR. Roman Hemby with 12 carries, 152 yards, 12.7 average per carry.
And with that 82-yard run, too.
That helps. That's what boosted that up really bad. Yeah, 82-yard run and a TD. Kalon Black with 13 carries for 66 yards, 5.1, 2 TDs. Kobe Martin, the redshirt freshman, he is just looking. He's looking like he's going to be a great back. Mm-hmm. 8 for 51, 6.4 yards, 1 TD. Fernando Mendoza, 2 carries, 27 yards, 1 TD. So, yeah, we did good that game. Boykin came up big again and had a fumble recovery, so that was nice for him. Stephen Daly had a sack, so that was good. Jamari Sharp, wow. Who had the interception? Oh, wasn't the Farrell, right?
I believe Farrell got
the Farrell got the interception. I don't know why I don't have that up here, but
sorry. So
Yeah, Farrell had the interception. So that was good too. But anyway, let's get into the Ohio State. Let's transfer over to the Ohio State thing now. What do you think? Their legend.
I think that it's going to be about the red zone. I think both Mendoza brothers will be important from a run standpoint or an option standpoint, or the ability to change the play formation around to surprise a determined Ohio State. So, and it's always been for me based on what I said before.
It's a business.
It's a business that
that wasn't geared towards Tom Allen anybody.
No, it boils right down to our play calling in the red zone.
Right.
And you have to be dynamic, and you have to change things up from what they're watching on film.
Exactly right. I mean, you did coach football for quite a few years, so you might know a thing or two about it.
Yeah, played for 11 years.
Played football for 11 years. What do you think, Chase?
I always think it starts just based off of film. Where I would start at with them is stopping the run game, forcing it to be a pass game. Was saying, Ohio State's never been truly tested. They got tested last week against Michigan with with two freshman DBs. Now that's not how you get tested. You got tested against Texas, their first game. And I mean, that's where you could see the errors and the mishaps happen, although it being the first game against Texas, winning 14-7.
Right.
But we got to think about this. Julian Sain's 4.3, 40-yard dash is a 4.3. Pons is a 4.35. Okay? Farrell, 4.4. You like
Are you talking about Julian Smith or Cardinal Tate, the wide receivers for them?
All of them. They're all the same mixed match of people. They're all running in the high 4.3s. Speed wise.
Yeah, they have a lot of speed on that defense.
But again, they've never been tested against a good defense before, other than Texas, and that was where's Texas at now?
Yeah.
So let's really talk about that for a minute. Now, I think personally, we stop them on the run game, get them to force the error in the pass game. Yeah. We have all those secondaries in the back that can make a play and take that ball away from Ohio State.
Yes, Jamari Sharp, and then D'Angelo Pons, Farrell.
Get them tired.
And Boykin, or not Boykin, 21. God, it's Boykin, isn't it? The nickel?
Oh, no, that's Harding.
Yeah.
Make them get overwhelmed on offense, because that's how you're going to shut them down.
You have Hardy and Jones, Aiden Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
So
we got to make them tired. They're going to go off of our mistakes. That's how we lost last year's game, was off of our mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't get me wrong. Their front seven, they're a bunch of first-round picks, but if you get them tired, it's not going to matter. Okay? Right. Michigan did this right, and I like the philosophy that they're going based off of. They're doing run, pass, 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 run, pass, 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 run, pass, pass, pass. That's where they got messed up.
Right.
You can't go against an offensive team a defensive team like that and expect anything out of them. You got to run it down the gut and get them tired.
I felt like watching the game that their play calling for Michigan was predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They very much so.
Based on what I saw and how we were defending, how Ohio State was defending them, they were predictable.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And when there was an unpredicted call is when they screwed up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking at some film on Ohio State, and I noticed on offense that, they'll use a lot of RPOs, pistol, the same offense that we use, basically, except for the bunch formation when they have the big boys in for the run. They bring an extra offensive lineman in. They'll even bring one of the defensive linemen in. And their backs are pretty good. Bo Jackson. I mean, he's a good running
He's
back.
a good back. He hits the hole hard and fast.
He's fast hitting the hole. Yeah, but I didn't see really a power back though.
No,
I really didn't see the backup backs come in and they weren't.
they're going to do something that we wished upon having all year. Okay, they're going to be utilizing their tight end line. They're going to be utilizing them to do the scheme where they have a slot receiver, then they have the tight end. The tight end's going to make a post route, blocking our cornerback from making contact with their slot receiver to get a touchdown.
Yeah, I saw that a lot on film too, and their tight end, of course, was the transfer from
Purdue.
Yeah, so
oh boy,
like this, it's just something that we're gonna follow through more to give more on Thursday. Late game on
8
Saturday.
o'clock.
It's gonna be 8 o'clock game.
Yeah, and it's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't get a ticket.
I was thinking, of getting tickets to the game, and I had to tell a friend of ours I don't think we'll be able to make it because tickets are starting at $357 a piece.
Yeah.
And the last time I looked, and a good seat was $2,000 a ticket to go to this game. Like, no, I'll spend my money when it's full time. When we go, if we get the first round bye, where we go to, that's where we're gonna go. So hopefully Miami.
Be nice.
Be nice to be close
Yeah.
to where we
It's only what,
But
4.5, 6 hours, 4.5, 5 hours.
from Miami to where that is.
Canaveral, yeah.
No, it's 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Cape
know, I'm
Canaveral.
from Indiana, so I don't know.
But yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Their defense has the best red zone defense in the country. By far on paper, as my father would say, on paper. They use a lot of different looks. They use a 4-3 zone, and they're fast. They use a 4-4-3 with a man, and a 4-4, 4-2-5, and a 3-3-5.
Their defensive coordinator is super smart.
Yeah, he is.
That's where I agree with my grandfather. You can't be predictable against this defensive coordinator because he's going to pick it out.
Yeah,
instantly.
you can't have tendencies on film.
No.
You can't show your tendencies on film. And this game is going to have to be a little bit different of what we do. And they have good special teams too. And I think that this game might end up being something like that. The last 4 minutes of the game are who's going to win. I really think that. So, what do you think about that, Pops?
Well, I think that the red zone offense for us will be extremely important on our play calling.
Yeah.
I like what some of the pro teams are doing with the tight end in the red zone. It's not something that's predictable, in my opinion, for us against us. And our play calling in the red zone has to be not something that they've seen necessarily on film, but that we've watched other teams do that have been successful against them.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Our red zone percentage has been very high this year, though. Very high for IU, that's it. I mean, Coach Sig has said it over and over again. In the last 2 minutes of a quarter, of the fourth or second quarter, we scored a lot of points.
Yes.
Which is great too, but setting the tone for the next,
We need to walk in there like we did to Oregon. This is what we need to do.
Right.
We get down to that red zone. Okay, we got to think. We put that tight end in that fullback position to throw them off guard a bit, throw some play action into it. Hell, if your outside linebacker pulls on you, and Nowowski, 37, right up the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that they're not ready for.
I mean, I've been waiting so much for Stays to come on.
Man, like I said before, I think Coach is smart, and what he did wrong last year is showing the whole package of what we got.
Right.
That's where I think he
Yes.
screwed up.
Yep.
That's how Notre Dame caught up to us.
Yep.
That's how Ohio State caught up to us. I don't think Coach I think he has a little extra secret in that back of that book he uses in those notepads.
That little green book.
Yeah,
The little green
so-
book, yeah.
I can almost see it in his eyes every single time he gets asked about this. He has that little sideways smirk that he's not really trying to show you, but that coach look, trust me, guys. When I tell you I've dealt with it for years, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it for years. You throw it open and you see, and I'm sure coach has been up as of today probably 48 hours.
Yeah.
No, you know
72
one thing.
hours.
I'll tell you this. I went by there Sunday night, I think it was. I was out working there, and he was still in his office at 10:30.
Yeah.
His car was still there, and the coordinator was still, one of the coordinators was still there, and I was like, his truck was there. I'm like, whoa, you know. And there's a lot coming on though, because tomorrow is the signing day,
Early signing.
early signing day for the recruits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
did
mean,
not- I did not know that. That's important.
that is important. We got a lot of recruits that looking really good, but we'll talk about that later. You know, because we're gonna have some time here in between the Big Ten championship game and the first game of the playoffs. So let's lead into that now. What do we think about the college football playoffs? What do we think here? Because we have Texas A&M lose. So what do we think that happens now?
Well, Texas A&M losing, that kind of benefits us a little bit more if we think about it. It gives us a little bit more grace. So whoever walks into this game and comes out with a loss, it still guarantees us our first round bye.
I'm hoping so.
Well, look at the rules.
I didn't see that in the rules.
So,
But, okay, go ahead.
so if you look at it this way, Texas A&M lost their game, so it puts them down. We won't know until about 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight on whenever they do the polls. They could drop to 5, they could go to 4, and then whoever was at, well, Georgia goes to 3 and has their first round bye. You know, that's what we're probably going to be looking at. But for right now, what I think is going to happen, whoever comes out of a loss out of this 1 or 2 game, because this was never asked for. Let me put that way. Ohio State didn't have to be number 1. Indiana didn't have to be number 2. If one of them come out with a loss this week, I say we're still going to have our first round bye regardless. They're going to have their first round bye regardless because we ran 12-0. We were the last 2 who were 12-0 in college
the
football.
whole college football. Right. So you're right about that. You know, the loss that Texas A&M had, and they have them down to 7 now, which is
Wow.
yeah. So that made them 11-1. Of course, they lost to an unranked team, so that matters too. Because Ohio State's 1 and we're 2 right now, and both the coaches in the poll and the top 25. But it's going to be very interesting to me what happens here. So what do you think? Georgia's going to be 3 and Oregon 4? Boy, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
I think it boils down to the 12-0 decision. You know what I mean? When you're thinking about both teams being 12-0, you know what I mean? Where do you go from there? I mean, their strength of schedule, maybe.
Yeah.
To decide if they're going to get a bye or not. But
yeah, our strength of schedule is actually higher than Ohio State's.
Then that makes it extremely important for the decision process. If it's me deciding on whether you're going to get a bye, you know, before you go to a bowl game or not, and also where you're going to go.
Right.
I
agree. So there's a couple things here too that just stuck out to me. Texas Tech is at number 6 or number 5, depending on what poll you say, and they have BYU on Saturday at noon.
Yeah, BYU on Saturday.
Yeah, for their conference championship.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah, that to me is crazy. Okay, this poses a question for me because if BYU beats Texas Tech, I mean it's going to be a long shot, right? what do we do then? What happens with the whole thing? And then, of course, you have the conference championship. Duke, a 7-5 against Virginia, 10-2. What happens then for the conference championship? What if Duke beats?
You have Alabama versus Georgia too for the SEC matchup.
Yeah, that's huge. That is gonna be a great game too.
If Alabama comes back in and beats Georgia, that's just going to rattle the whole CFP playoff.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
That's
gonna,
an important one.
There's a lot of games that are happening right now. University of North Texas and Tulane is actually a game too that you have to watch because North Texas comes in and beats Tulane. So there is a lot going on right now. That's people say, "Oh, conference championships don't matter anymore," and all this and that. Kind of do.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the only one that I would say that does not matter right now is the Ohio State and Indiana game. To be completely honest, this one doesn't matter. In my opinion, I would put Ohio State put their second stringers out, put our second stringers out, and let them clash. Okay, that's my opinion though. Just based on the fact that we already have a spot in the college football playoff. Keep our guys healthy. Let's go win a game there. That's my personal opinion on it. Because in my belief right now, if we were gonna, if theoretically say if Indiana lost this game, I've already looked at the percentages and all that. We have a 94.5% chance that we are still going to have our first round bye.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, but I don't think that we'll be able to do that. We've never been to the Big Ten championship game.
Oh, no. If by all means, if coach wants to go out there and do what he wants to do, but I'm saying if I was a coach with more reputation in the Big Ten championship games, that's what I would do. So what I'm saying is that Ryan Day needs to put his second stringers out and let our first strings go out.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Based on moving to Indiana in 1988, being an IU fan since then, my only hope in that whole period of time is to beat these guys. So that's what I would be after.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm sure that all those alumni are wanting desperately right now. Okay.
To beat Ohio State.
To beat Ohio State.
Just
All right.
And
It puts a smile on your face.
And another thing we have to think about, though, is the college football playoff. Could we face them again? In the bracket, we'll have to see what they do, So
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy that we have to meet them again. Yeah.
If I'm sitting in that room, I'm not saying that.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be really interesting tonight what happens with that, with the rankings tonight. I mean, and especially next Sunday, because they'll come out Sunday because all the games will be over, and Saturday they'll find out where they're going.
Yeah, where everything's placed.
Where he was placed. But, I mean, like I said, Saturday is going to be a big thing because, based on the top 25 right now, the seeding is based on that, is Ohio State's 1, Indiana's 2, Texas A&M, that's not right. Texas A&M's not 3 anymore.
That'd be changed tonight, won't it?
Yeah, that'll be changed tonight. Alabama was 4. So, I don't know.
Pay attention to those talking heads out there that you see every Saturday. They'll have a lot to do with what the selection process is for those people that are down below 1 and 2.
Right. They have Oregon Ducks playing Texas Tech in the first round matchups on campus. They have Memphis playing Georgia. This is not right.
Are these possibilities that you're dealing with, Jason?
No.
This is what I see right here, and this is the AP Top 25.
This is messed up.
I have Ohio State ranked at 1, Indiana ranked at 2, Georgia ranked at 3, Oregon ranked at 4, Texas Tech at 5.
That's better,
Right.
I think.
In all honesty, all those SEC bias and say, "Oh, look at the Big Ten. They don't really have anybody besides Ohio State and Indiana." Oregon's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, what I would like to see, depending on whoever we get to go face, in an ideal world, I would really like to face Texas Tech or Ole Miss. I think our schemes against them would overwhelm them.
Right.
Ole Miss just lost their head coach.
Lane Kiffin, went to LSU.
That was a lot of turmoil in that one. Huh? I saw it on the news.
So I also see on the news with Lane Kiffin about I don't know if he was a dude that was trying to interview him or something. I guess the dude called him a hoe. And he says, "How about you come back in this room with me and call me a hoe and see how that ends up for you?" I was like, "Why, dude? You got to keep it professional.
Yeah.
You got to walk past that. You're a head coach. That's not going to look good on the resume."
Okay, so I got it up now, the right one, because I didn't have the right one up now. So they have number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Indiana, number 4, Georgia, number 3, Texas A&M. So Alabama and Ole Miss would play against Indiana. They have Miami and Oregon playing against Texas A&M still, but that's going to change, because Texas A&M lost. But this is the most recent one. Tulane and Texas Tech would have to play against Georgia, and Oklahoma and Notre Dame would have to play against Ohio State. I think there's going to be some jumping around on this, of course.
And who's going against each other to play us again?
Ole Miss and Alabama.
Well, Alabama lost, so obviously Alabama isn't going to be there anymore. They're going to be knocked out of the bracket. Oh no, they're going to be knocked out of the bracket for losing.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
Because Texas A&M is down to 7, so that takes them out. It's going to be in between Texas Tech and Ole Miss, which I'm hoping for. And as long as we can stay away from Oregon, okay, because they've done this before.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State's done it, Oregon before. I mean, that's what I love about Big Ten football, but that's a later talk. As long as we stay away against somebody that we've already faced, I think we're good. And also make a motion against Texas Tech or against the SEC Ole Miss. I think that would benefit us longer in the quarterfinal, against the semifinal.
Well, isn't a lot of discussion between the Big Ten and the SEC? Is that kind of like, you always hear that they're, who did the Big Ten face? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why are they 1 and 2? So if you want to make a decision on that, and you were selecting a team to play against, would you put both of them against somebody from the SEC or the SEC, or how would you go about doing that?
Well, that's something we'll have to see, because I don't know. But okay, well, now we've pretty much beat that to the drum. I'm going to go into college football coaching carousel, which is actually crazy. James Madison coach Bobby Chesney was hired by UCLA as the head coach. So that's crazy.
That is crazy.
SMU,
JMU, James Madison.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought they had a pretty good record.
They did, but he's going to go to the Big Ten to coach now, like Coach Sick did.
Yeah, but they're not playing in a bowl game.
They are.
UCLA's playing in bowl. Oh, you're talking about James Madison.
James Madison.
Yeah.
So it's
So UCLA's over.
Did they do the same thing as they did with the other coach that's going to LSU?
Lane Kiffin was different.
Yeah, because they
They're
LSU said it's now or never.
right.
So is it the same way with UCLA? Or is he
No,
going to be able to go?
UCLA is not going to be in the. They're not going to be in a bowl game.
That's not my question. Is he going to be able to stay at SMU?
Well,
JMU.
JMU, I mean, sorry.
yeah. He's going to go coach the bowl game at JMU.
Okay, that was my
he's
question.
leaving.
All right.
Because they very well might get into the college football playoffs if they win this weekend.
Okay.
So, yes. So that was the first one. Mark Stoops got fired from Kentucky. So that's just crazy, huh?
82, 80, 13 seasons fired December 1st.
Right. Coastal Carolina fires Tim Beck.
I seen that one kind of coming, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they haven't done that well. He hasn't done that well, but we'll see what happens. Tulane loses John Summerall. He was hired by Florida. That's a different thing. South Florida, Alex Golesh was hired by Auburn. Wow. That's
a huge jump.
That's a huge jump. That is going to be a huge jump for him. But congratulations to him. He's 23-15. That's awesome. Hey, another out. Memphis. Ryan Silverfield is out. He's hired by Arkansas. Going to the SEC, huh?
All these guys are. I don't know. I see a lot of shakes in the timeline here. They seen that a team that isn't widely known to be very good, and then they take their coach away from them and hire them on somewhere else.
They're looking for the next Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They're looking for the next Coach Sig.
That I don't know why that seems like the way it is, but sorry guys.
The record of winning.
Yeah, the record percentage winning. So yeah, I got that, and then you have UConn. Jim Mora, might recognize that name from somewhere, was hired by Colorado State.
Might be before my time. Who's that?
Jim Mora was a pro football coach for a long time. Jim Mora, Colts.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm
with Chase on that.
But I think that's his son. Anyway, North Texas, Eric Morris leaves North Texas, and he's done a great job at North Texas. Who, by the way, we play next year. First game of the year. First game of the next year. So, hired by Oklahoma State. He's a good coach now.
At 21-15 in 3 seasons.
Cal fires their coach, Justin Wilcox, and there is rumors that Cal might disband the football team.
Huh.
Not UCLA, but Cal.
Cal, yeah.
Just so people hear. Yeah, there's rumors that they can't financially afford it.
Oh, yeah? I didn't hear that.
Yeah. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Penn State, of course, fired James Franklin. So Penn State still doesn't have a coach yet.
I want them to hire the coach that's assistant coach right now.
Do you?
The
Wilson?
the interim coach. Yeah,
I think he
because
deserves it.
as I watched their players for Penn State, they're begging the alumni to hire him. What does that mean if you've played football for years like me?
Yeah.
Right? Like all of us in this room, it means that if the players are begging you to hire this guy, and look at how close they were to one of the best teams, in college football. It was one dynamic play in the end zone by a couple of first-star players that took that game away from them. All right, so I think if it was me, he would be the guy.
Yeah.
And plus, he's already built a big relationship with the team. He knows the players inside and out.
That interim job can go both ways.
Right.
And I think it went the positive way.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know. We'll see with that one.
I mean, when a big 320 pounder can come out with the sign that says hire coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oregon State out. Trent Bray fired. UAB Trent Dilfer fired. Trent Dilfer was a former quarterback in NFL for many years, and a high school football coach, and then got the chance to go to the Lynchstone Academy, private high school in Nashville, Tennessee, and did really well there. Michigan State. This one gets me. This one is like, boy, this is scary. Good. I mean, for Michigan State, it's scary bad for us, but they fired a coach, Jonathan Smith, and hired Pat Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald was a coach for Northwestern, and that did a really good job of building players. I mean, Northwestern, you have to be very good in academics to get in there. So that was, I mean, he did an excellent job coaching, and his assistants did at Northwestern. You know, Michigan State's always had, besides this last hire, good coaches there. When you think about it, you know, Saban was there.
They've always had really good
Yeah.
intentions, but they just can never really pull it off.
It's people that they get to play there, the guys that get to play. And it's just like you said earlier, how much can we use the NIL, right?
Yeah. But of course, I said Bob Chesney from UCLA was hired from James Madison. Ole Miss this is another one that really surprised me. Lane Kiffin's out, gets hired by the LSU, and it's been a mess. I mean, it's been nationally a mess.
Nationally a mess.
You know, really a mess. They promoted their defensive coordinator, Pete Golding, to the head coach there. You know, Pete Golding was a defensive coordinator for a long time. He did a good job defensively. He deserves it. Congratulations. And LSU, of course, hired Lane Kiffin. Brian Kelly was out. Brian Kelly, the Kelly family, has been around for years in college football. You know?
I don't. Back on that Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin deal. You know, as a head coach, you know you have a certain structure you gotta live by. You know, a certain type of individual can only be a head coach. But when it comes down to media and leaving on bad blood, that doesn't prove anything to anybody.
Right.
Well, it came right down to LSU telling him, we either take the job now
Or it's not there.
or it's not there anymore.
Right.
So now you're making a decision based on the coaching carousel if you want to leave Ole Miss, right?
Right.
So you got to get down to what the determination was, the necessity to go from one recognizable school, right? I mean, everybody knows the name Ole Miss,
Right.
to go to LSU.
Yeah.
So it boils down to how much money Ole Miss was willing to pay him, in my opinion. I don't know the answer to that. Okay.
Right.
I'm not a social media guy anyway, so. But that probably was a situation where
I can't see it being about money. I don't. I mean, that guy's got enough money already. He's a multi-millionaire. I think it's more about wanting to get the trophy. His chances of getting a trophy is a lot better for national championship and natty at LSU than it was at Ole Miss as far as the recruiting goes. LSU's got a lot of money.
I don't know. I don't know, in my opinion, if it would have been worth the risk.
I think I'd rather be with a team that's going to walk in the playoffs right now,
Yeah.
or playoff potential, versus a team that isn't going to playoff and only playing a bowl.
And
Yeah, and they have a history of firing their coaches too.
he could have made money on the coaching carousel for whatever he chose to do. After the decision was made to coach my team, I'm staying with this team until after.
Been here all season.
All
I
the
have to
promises,
say.
all the promises you make to those kids too. I mean, you're sitting across from them at a table or at in a seat
locker
or,
room.
or in a locker room, and you're making a promise to these guys. Now, this happened years ago at IU football. I know for a fact with one of our coaches. Big outside linebacker got up and said, "Get the F out of my locker room."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it did because he decided he was going to go somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I won't mention any names like that right now.
Don't remember that.
Yeah. So, where was I at? Florida? No, I was at.
You were talking about LSU.
Yeah. Well, Lane Kiffin was hired there at LSU. John Summerall was hired from Tulane to go to Florida. That was Billy Napier. Napier, he's got a history of being a really good coach, just couldn't make it work in Florida, which is crazy to think of your recruiting area in Florida. The district that you have a lot of really good players in that area, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. You got a lot of good players sitting right there in the SEC. Auburn got Alcalez from South Florida. I mean, Hugh Freeze gets fired. Hugh Freeze is a well-known college football coach too, and professional football coach. So I couldn't believe that.
And the funny part about all this, I'm seeing a lot of SEC and then All American Conference, and maybe 2 ACC. SEC, you guys got to get it figured out.
Uh-huh.
Get it figured out. It's like every little thing they blame us about, but they still don't have their own problems fixed here. Y'all are basically trading head coaches at this point because one's not doing good, the other. Stay until the end of the season.
Right.
I mean, I get the recruiting base that's down south. I get it. It's really good. But if you come into a team and, like you guys said, making all those promises and talking to these kids, and this goes ahead at Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, if you guys win the college football player, that's money getting drawn in. You would have got paid more.
Right.
I get why you probably went to LSU. LSU has a lot of money. They have better recruitment. They have all this. But why can't you not build something
The NIL money.
Ole
Well,
Miss?
let me ask this. Is there a way to prevent coaches from leaving their team until after the season is finished?
There's not. It's all free roam right now.
Yeah, but is there a way that college football could?
The NCAA is not doing crap anymore.
Well, that'd be the NCAA then. And
They have lost so many cases in the last 5 years. It's just now they're even just settling because they don't want to go to another case and lose money, which is crazy to me too. You know what I mean? The college football playoff. This just came into my brain. The college football playoff committee is not a paid committee. They are all volunteers.
Yes.
That's crazy. Out of multi-billion-dollar business has volunteers voting on who's going to be in the CFP. I'm like, wow. I didn't know that until today, honestly. And I'm like, that's just crazy. These guys and reports of the interns watching the film, watching games, and reporting to the committee members. What? How many of these guys that are interns or girls that are interns play the game?
Right.
But anyway, the eye test. That's all you always hear is the eye test this, the eye test that. Well, you got to watch a game for the damn eye test. You know what I'm saying? But
I just think NCAA ought to take a more active role in that decision-making process.
They should. They should. Somebody should. That begs the question to me. I still wanted to get to some of these head coaches things, but I'm just going to go on a tangent here. We've been on for 50 minutes. I think the NCAA should be dissolved. the NCAA, good. See ya. See ya. Get the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and all these conferences. Just say we'll join, and we'll have each one of our heads be a member. You know what I mean?
I see what logic you're coming from, but to me, I still like the SEC, the ACC. I don't think that we should have it as big as a program, like for instance for the Big Ten, where we have 18 teams. I think we take it back to what we were originally at. I don't personally like having Washington, Oregon. I don't like having them here. I don't like UCLA, USC. I don't like them. I wish they would stay in their own
Pac-12.
In the Pac-12. That's why I think they should have stayed in. I get it. It's media. It's more money. But then again, that's the reason why we have conferences. And to me personally, flying from California and then coming to Indiana and having to fly back to California just to fly to Ohio State or fly from Ohio State
to Rutgers
to go halfway across, well, all the way on the other side of the states from California, Washington, or Oregon, and having to go all the way to Rutgers. Me personally, I don't see a point in that.
I don't want to see a Big 10 East and Big 10 West again.
That's where it's headed.
I don't want to see that again.
The only one that I think that should go somewhere else, I think Ohio State should go to the SEC because they always want to be tried.
Right.
And then leaving it up to Indiana, Penn State, Michigan.
Well, I don't want to have a Big 10 West and East again. I do not want to have. I know, Dad, that you said that's bound to happen. I do not want that again. I mean that every year we were playing against Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Purdue. Purdue was in the West
For years.
for years, and that was rough.
Yeah.
That was really rough. Jesus, I'm all worked up now on this damn thing. I tell you what, I just hate that
Yeah.
political crap. But anyway, we'll get on to this. Arkansas is Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. Out with Sam Pittman. Stanford, Savita Pritchard is in. Out with Troy Taylor. Colorado State hired Jim Mora from UConn. Out was Jay Norvell. Okay, Oklahoma State in is Eric Morris, hired from North Texas. We had mentioned him before. I think he's an excellent coach. Out is Mike Gandy, 170, 90, and 21 seasons out of Oklahoma State. That's a pretty damn good record.
Yeah.
James Franklin was hired at Virginia Tech. I think great for James. I mean, that area that he can recruit is used to coming from Penn State, the tri-state area. It's a good area for him to recruit in. So congratulations to him. Now the question I pose now is this: do we have one of our coordinators leave IU to be the head coach at JMU?
I think not.
Do you think they go anywhere?
No.
You think they'll stay?
I think they'll stay.
You think we might lose secondary coaches like Kuntz or like Ole Adams? Any of them guys?
This goes back to the same thing we were talking about as a head coach.
Right.
Okay. One, we have some of the best recruits we've ever seen come through Indiana. Number two, they've been with Coach Curcinetti
for a long time.
Why would they stop doing that now?
5 to 10 years with a couple in there that are just one person that's new, but all have been there. I think under 5, below 10 years. I think
this is where you have to come down and look at it. I don't see these guys of wanting to make a big sonic boom in college football right now. They have something getting built here in Indiana. So why would you want to leave somewhere that right now you're ranked number 2 nationally?
Yep.
You're having these recruits come in. Why would you leave? I get money is always the talk. But wouldn't you think that our alum and our people would pay more to have these coaches stay than what any other college football team would give them.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, I agree. It just one thing on top of my head that's worrying me. Honestly, it is. I don't want to lose any of the coordinators. I want to stay home.
Look what they did for Coach Saban.
Yeah.
So what's he? I'm not going to mention his name, but what's he going to tell?
World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's he going to say to him? Right? He's got this chance to go here.
Show me the money.
Give them the money.
Give the money. Yep. But
because there's going to be an offer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and he's going to know what the offer is.
Right.
Got some connections there.
Yes. Oh boy.
You gotta think though, like they're building this big dream here at Indiana University. Why would you leave something like Indiana University where you have yourself settled and into a team that has this much grind and grit to them?
For me, it's a lot about the way they've melded together.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become close as a staff,
yeah,
that's important to me because of what I've been through from coaching, right?
Right. Yeah. You want to keep
you want to keep those people that have been close to you and done the job that you've asked them to do.
Right. 100%.
And that's part of the glue that holds a staff like this together for the last 2 years.
100%.
Yep.
You know, but in the past, we saw our coordinators leave and become coaches in a lot of places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We really have. I mean, you look at Womack, Kalen DeBoer, Canada.
Uh-huh.
You know, all these guys end up going somewhere else and doing well. You know, Tom Allen, of course, wasn't an assistant, but he was a good defensive coordinator. Having a rough time right now at Clemson, but it's not his fault.
Got to recruit some more players.
Yeah, got to recruit some more guys.
Yep.
But his type of guys. Yeah. Well, people, we've been on a show for 57 minutes, 56 seconds. We're going to head out now. Once again, like and share on YouTube, please. It helps me out. It helps us keep going. Hopefully, we can start getting on X. It's kind of expensive to do the live on X, but we'll have to get that done sometime soon. So if any big donors out there want to donate me for a year of X, I'll take it. I tell you. Like and share our video. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back Thursday at 11, and we'll be more in-depth look at the Ohio State-Indiana game this Saturday at 8 p.m. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for coming by.